Dear colleagues, friends and partners, the presentation you are about to see was held at the NAMUR Annual General Meeting in November 2015, which was sponsored by KROHNE. NAMUR is an international user association of automation technology in the process industry, mainly representing the interests of chemical, petrochemical, pharmaceutical and oil and gas companies. KROHNE is very proud to be chosen as a sponsor of this meeting. We were able to present our company's strategy, our philosophy and our technology to an audience of 630 participants. Without doubt, it was a huge success for us. KROHNE has become a global player in instrumentation and measuring solutions, and we were able to convince the audience of this new positioning. The feedback we got was overwhelmingly positive, as many people didn't know about KROHNE's strategy's endeavor before. As we think that this 1-hour presentation is an extensive overview of our current and future focuses, we took the time and effort to translate it for you. The statements we are presenting are valid for all industries KROHNE is engaged in. Please enjoy the presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Steckenreiter, for your perfect and charming introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the KROHNE Group, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you and wish the NAMUR an equally informative and engaging annual general meeting. We will do our best to make the next hour a memorable one. We have a number of interesting presentations in store for you, complemented by a truly diverse exhibition. I am certain that we will firmly grab your attention. Later on, KROHNE will literally accompany you in the well-known beer cellar. NAMUR and its member companies have significantly shaped the history of the KROHNE Group, and for that we would like to take this opportunity to say thank you. Your confidence in us is fundamental, and we sincerely hope that it will be further expanded and strengthened in the future. The following hour is divided into 3 parts: our corporate strategy, our corporate philosophy, and our technologies. In my part, I will present a short history of the development of the KROHNE Group from an individual instrument manufacturer to an international solution provider in the field of measuring technology. My fellow board member and spokesman of the owner family, Michael Dubik, will then present our corporate philosophy. In the third part, our Chief Technical Officer, Dr. Attila Bilgic, will outline the technology of tomorrow in which we are conducting research and which are developing specifically for your application. You can already see an example of this in my background. I'm very excited about what lies ahead, and I'm confident that today's presentation will be very enriching. Attila certainly will surprise you. But one thing I can tell you already is that it has nothing to do anymore with only VA flow meters. Smart sensors, new technologies for process optimization, hidden behind this title, is actually the future of sensors for the chemical industry. But before we look into this future together, I would like to briefly talk about how we arrived at where we are now and how the subject of smart has already become well embedded within KROHNE. The sensors of tomorrow will provide diagnosis, they will recognize information and network with each other intelligently and draw the right conclusions. Smart sensor technology is to a large extent application-oriented sensor technology, and you will hear the word application a lot from us today, because applications are what drives us. From the beginning, our focus has always been geared towards the application and process of our customers. What makes our work so very interesting is the continuous creative exchange with our clients about their requirements. To find the customer fit measuring solution for your application inspires us again and again, and we are known to be not afraid of very complex challenges. We started in 1921 with the manufacture of measuring devices for hardening furnaces used by companies from the metal industry in the Ruhr area. After the upheavals of the Second World War, KROHNE was initially a small business when Christian Rademacher-Dubik joined the company and gave directions for many decades. At this time, Christian was a passionate artist. However, he decided to swap his passion from painting with the technology of measurement. He dealt closely with the chemical industry in Germany, which in the 50s was experiencing a strong growth, and he wanted to understand what exactly was needed in measuring technology. KROHNE had to grow. Amongst others, BASF and Bayer became important customers and important companions. We first implemented their requirements for standardized, safe measuring devices by our all-metal VA flow meters with magnetic coupling. The calculation procedure developed by KROHNE was a basis for the VDE guideline 3513. The principle of magnetic coupling also helped us to expand our product portfolio in the area of level measurement technology with a magnetically coupled float system under the license from Farbwerke Höchst. The first electrical measurement principle that followed was our electromagnetic technology. Under the name KROHNE Altimeter, we took our first steps towards industrial standard electromagnetic flow meters. These devices contained no moving parts for the measuring in the volume flow, had no constriction, no pressure loss. Nothing like this had ever been existed before. The fundamental question, however, was whether such a device could work. The industrialization of this technology was so difficult at this time that KROHNE wanted to give up the project on several occasions. With great tenacity, and after 10 years, we finally got the technology under control. The trust that we received from our customers through the first orders for magnetic inductive flow meters helped us considerably at that time. The Netherlands urgently needed a technology for land reclamation and construction of polders, which could measure the mixture of water, sand, and partly very large stones without being destroyed in the process. We successfully solved this application. Since the market of KROHNE at that time was 60% concentrated on the chemical sector, especially the German chemical sector, our first task was to adapt the new technology for our traditional customer. The requirements in the chemical sector were a lot more diverse. We developed transistor amplifiers, the pulse DC field, large and small diameters, pressure ratings, various X concept, and a huge number of liners. We wanted to give our clients the ideal measuring device for all their needs: chemical resistant, dimensional stable, abrasion and corrosion resistant, thermally stable, in sum, reliable in your process. The idea to use industrial ceramics as a measuring tube material came from KROHNE. Parallel to the chemical sector, we also acquired a broad range of application knowledge in the petrochemical industry, the food sector, and the water and waste industries. We have consistently researched new technology and integrated them in industrial measurement technology. And we have often pioneered the industrial implementation of further physical effects. Non-contact, frequency-modulated radar for level measurement in difficult vessel geometries, or the direct mass flow measurement using the Coriolis effect with a single straight measuring tube are just two examples. From the mechanical design to the electrical signal evaluation through the measurement algorithm, we have complete command of our technologies. In addition to the development of these technologies, the second important task was the internationalization of our company. One important motivating force for us was the high level of investment from the NAMUR member companies abroad and their wish for a reliable local partner. Sometimes the wish was expressed in a very direct way, and I would like to give you an example from my own first-hand experience. In 1996, I was a region manager responsible for South America. At the invitation of the German Trade and Industry Association, I was invited to a dinner in Sao Paulo, where I had the pleasure to present KROHNE. The evening went well up to the moment at which one of the audience members, a manager of a large German chemical group, took me aside. He made it very clear to me that simply exporting devices was not enough and that business in South America would not be successful this way. We would need people on the ground who are involved in the application and are able to establish long-term relationships with our clients. Following the principle of local business, local people, we have built up our global development and production sites, as well as our sales organization in North and South America, in India, China, and Russia. Wherever we are located in the world, we apply the same global standards, whether that be our product quality to our service or to the consultancy from our engineers. New emerging chemical and petrochemical parks around the globe, for example Petronas in Malaysia, are another key area of investments for the KROHNE Group. We have here established a powerful enterprise with 150 Malaysian engineers and technicians. And with that we have now come full circle to the present day. As you know, KROHNE is a proven, reliable partner for process measurement technology for pressure, temperature, flow and level, and now also for material properties. 4+1, that means process analytics are placed on the same level as the main parameters mentioned before. We have mastered all of these technologies in depth. Only in this way we can guarantee the implementation for your application and the integration into your process. With the development of our process analytics portfolio, we have continued to focus on the requirement of our customers. Process parameters such as mass flow are now supplemented by substance composition. We measure inline, online, and the results are real-time available for the process control system. To gain material-specific information inline or online is a substantial competitive advantage for chemical companies. We can see that the market demands this from us, and we will expand our involvement in this area in future, as you will see in Dr. Bilgich's presentation. Next to a first-class product portfolio, you also expect from us a complete and appropriate measuring solution. I would like to give you two examples. In the first example, we develop a measuring run as a solution for the custody transfer loading of rapeseed oil. We supply everything shown here: the gas separator, control valve, mass flow meter, piping, the dosing control, and the custody transfer relevant project management, complying to the regulation of the MI 005, as well as the commissioning, training and documentation. The second example comes from the oil and gas industry. Next to excellent measuring devices, they also expect a complete metering solution. A turnkey, skid-based measuring system, mixer, analyzer house, custody transfer flow meter, actuators, and the integration of measured data in the customer's ERP system. We have the expertise to advise our clients early on his planning and design stages of this solution. Furthermore, we support our clients in the selection-making process while determining which application is subject to custody transfer or fiscal regulation and which is not. And if applicable, we support you in the custody transfer approval process. In the implementation of the European Measuring Instrument Directive, I just mentioned the MI 005 as an example. KROHNE supports its customer in the total process assessment and upgrading of existing installations according to national metrological regulations. In doing so, KROHNE is becoming a service provider beyond the plain measurement value. Whether that be for a process measuring device or for a complete system solution, precisely understanding and implementing customers' requirements is our task. Safety, availability, flexibility, and efficiency, the core needs of the chemical industry, are second nature to us in the way we think and in the way we act. We show you how you can simplify safety concepts within your plants and how you can ensure a higher plant availability through diagnostic and predictive maintenance to minimize downtimes. Or, for example, in multipurpose plants, devices that can be used for a wide range of applications are necessary to utilize the maximum flexibility of that plant. Today, a standard device needs to cover a temperature range between -200 to +400 degrees Celsius, be made from high-quality material without special versions and at a competitive price. Our contribution to an efficient process is not only limited to the provision of one measurement data, but on the structured deployment of large amounts and varieties of information out of your process. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to have access to in-process data and trends, to product properties and information on the various phases and transition states in a safe and reliable way. The measurement technology solution for all of these tasks in future will be combined into a single measurement module. The future of process automation is an instrumentation and control module which intelligently connect sensors and actuators combined with the necessary process analytics. The forefather for such a module is a system solution that combines various functions with one system. This path directly leads us into the world of Internet of Things or the Industry 4.0. If we reduce such a system in size, interlink this function intelligently, we create a smart instrumentation and control module. The functionality of such a module can only be guaranteed by smart sensors. Sensors with reliable diagnosis and intelligent linking between sensors, actuators and control systems are the future. Whether the process control system in its present form is still required is an entirely different question. Another example for a smart system is our leak detection and localization system. This system continuously compares the measured data of the inline sensors in the actual pipeline with a mathematical model of this pipeline. Any deviation from the model are detected as leak or as safe via a pattern recognition software. The intelligent combination of sensors and software works that well that the false alarm rate of the system is practically zero. This system is already providing completely autonomous intelligence which, according to the wishes of the customers, can be integrated into a control system or remains standalone. This intelligence, the mathematical model as well as a pattern recognition, can be integrated into our sensors in whole or in a part. In this respect, our measuring technology is already smart. Such an interlinked system of soft sensors, mathematical models of the process control, combined with the necessary application knowledge, will set the future in process automation. At the same time, smart sensors must fulfill exactly the same requirements as a so-called regular process instrument. Reliable measurement data under the most difficult conditions that meet international standards and regulations, comply with all safety aspects, and integrate modern communication technologies. In this context, we welcome the standardization efforts by NAMUR, because only uniform, open standards will lead to an increased efficiency of your plans. Nonetheless, the number of NAMUR recommendations remains quite impressive for us. We are already implementing key aspects from the NAMUR GMR roadmap, Process Sensors 2015+. For example, in the measurement of spatial distribution of process variables in your pipelines and vessel using tomographic methods. Interface detection through inline process analytics and the use of new concepts are also important. Examples are single-use sensors or swarm sensors. We are very much looking forward to the revised version of the roadmap that will be presented by Dr. Michael Maywald later this morning. The entire field of smart sensors, in conjunction with the paradigms of chemistry, requires a huge effort on our part as a measuring technology manufacturer. Actively shaping this future calls for a significant commitment, especially in the field of research and development. These projects, besides their enormous potential, represent also a considerable risk. The investment needed here can be seen as risk capital. As a company, we are prepared to deploy this risk capital and are grateful that we can rely on the full support of our owner family. Family-owned enterprises have their own strengths and values. I'm sure my fellow board member and spokesman of the owner family, Michael Dubik, can explain this much better than I can do. Michael, would you please join me here on the stage before I briefly summarize the 4 most important points for the audience? Today, KROHNE is a global company which has always focused closely on the applications of our clients. KROHNE is developing from a pure hardware manufacturer into a measuring service provider. Smart measuring modules combined with detailed application knowledge will determine the process automation of the future. Our structure as a family-owned enterprise enables significant investment in new technology. At this point, I would like to hand over to you, Michael.